where we started, and this entire startup concept. Because here we are looking forward for what I'm going to share with you today is obviously a guide to how we can create startups today, what the kind of businesses are created. Apart from that, anything like definitely I'm going to definitely go into the personal experiences as an entrepreneur, because me being I'm into this field as an entrepreneur. We are handling businesses, though it is a family business, because every time the so-called startup which comes across, because right now the terminology startups is growing famous. So how, whether you are from a startup, whether you are having an idea where you want to begin, where you want to begin your journey as an entrepreneur, you want to begin your own business, or are you working somewhere, or you're under working someone, and we are just trying to get into more personal experiences to understand how we can grow from a startup to business. I hope that's fine. And this is what we'll try to understand. What is basically startup? Startup is something where today there is no PPT. I'm not bringing in the PPT. I know there is the connections from all the list from this current generation, which we call is coming down to all the scrolling through Facebook, Insta Reels, and then the shorts. Everything is going in a very, very what do you call, in seconds it is happening. It's everyone wants very, very quick remedy, quick things. So attention spans are all. I'm requesting you here, Vaishnav. Thank you. because you can get a competitive edge by learning, because practical learning is the best in the world. How much ever you take theoretical learning, practical learning is there. Obviously, I started with my family business, but I found my passion into this, because if I'm not going to be passionate about taking this business to next level, then it will not make sense. Whether you are starting up or you're in a family business, or you are doing a third generation, fourth generation entrepreneur, it does not matter. What matters is if you can relate it. If you're not going to love what you do, if you're not going to that should be some reason why you're waking up every day for. And that reason should be the reason of your business. That's the really true test of an entrepreneur. That is the true magical. All these startups who went on to become large companies, whether within India or outside the globe, there are hundreds of examples you see, but you can understand 95, according to the recent survey, 95% of these startups fail within first 5 years. You know the reason why? Because they could not relate to it. Either they could not relate to it, or one of the major common threads was, there are many factors, but one of the factors is they were not passionate about it. Because if they're passionate about it, they will not give up. And if you are failing, then you should learn to accept the failures, and you should not be afraid of failures, because everything is not going to click instantly. There are people who have gone from one startup to another startup to third startup to fourth startup. There are many. Mark Zuckerberg did not know how to start a Facebook. He was not a genius when he started Facebook. He was no way connected to social media at any point of time. But he found out a way where he could connect. All his intention was, if you can get that intention right, his intention was to connect with his friends on a common platform. And that was the birth of a social media revolution called Facebook. WhatsApp. Either you can bring an idea which can benefit not only you, but also to the world, and world will help you to take it to the next level. For example, right now we are all on a Google Meet. Google is it's given us a platform to conduct meetings and interact with each other, but he's created a platform for us to meet online, if not offline, thanks to COVID. And here was the birth of many online e-platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, and then micro Teams and all those things. There are many examples where you can come. YouTube is another example where they have created a platform where every user who is providing the content to the YouTube is also getting benefited, apart from the YouTube benefiting from the whole. How wonderful, isn't it? It is. So you need to identify the passion behind what you are doing and find the purpose of your own, because it's not enough if you come up with an idea, because you need to relate to it. You need to identify your strength. You need to accept your weakness. You need to know. I know we are all at an age, you're at an age where you may not be able to understand, but you need to find someone who can guide you, who can relate you, who can help you out, find out your weaknesses. I'm sure it can be your own father, it can be your parents, it can be your friends, it can be your teacher, it can be your any mentor, anyone whom you look up to in life. So if you can get that right, then that will be the beginning step of what we call identifying the burning problem of the customers, identifying what they need and what makes them tick, and what they cannot solve by themselves. So idea, then problem, then finding out the passion, your own passion. Number 4 is you need to identify a niche in your own domain. My teacher always says it's better to be a fish, a strong fish in a small pond than to get lost in a large pond. So it's better to identify, you become stronger with one domain. Amazon started with their journey merely with books. They excelled in the books. Today, it's a platform for anything and everything you want to buy in your life. But they started with only one thing. Microsoft has dedicated their entire life with one thing. If you can get that, if you can be focused, if you can literally be focused these initial years in narrowing it down, in bringing it down and identifying a niche for yourself, that will be the best thing if you can relate to. Obviously, if you have to understand how much of it is your interest, it is of your it is your domain, you're related to it. If you can focus on that narrow issue, if you can focus on that one thing, not necessarily many things, and that from that one thing, if you start focusing that particular niche, and if you can become the go-to person in your market, in your industry. I remember I started, I can say that it was a startup, because at 2007, I started my own company. It is a startup from my family business. I started a new company called Kayan, where we were targeting only one particular niche, and which was only high-end target customers. Who are your customers? You need to identify, you need to create that niche. You need to ask yourself, who are your customers you want to focus upon? Who are your customers you want to sell your products to? Who are the customers, where are your customers? Who are your customers? Who is your target audience? Everyone cannot be your buyer. Everyone cannot be buyer for Nike. Everyone cannot be buyer for Mercedes Benz. There is a segment. Everyone does not have an Apple phone, iPhone. It is not meant for everyone. Everyone does not. So if you start focusing on everything, you will start losing. Or you may not gain anything. So you need to narrow down your focus. You need to ask yourself, who is my target audience? Who am I relating to? Whom I am going to sell to? Where are my customers? Identify what is their age group? Whom am I targeting to? Entire Instagram research says that majorly the entire Instagram is used between age group of from 12 to 20, major age group category. It's focusing predominantly on the youngsters. So they are very clear. Who is your target audience? Whom do you want to project? Whom do you want to sell your products to? So identifying the target customers is very, very crucial. Otherwise, you will get lost in the market. As I said, Amazon started their journey with only selling books online. Today, they have grown there. They have gained the trust. They have gained the credibility. They have shown through the visibility. They have taken their business after going through a lot of challenges, a lot of changes. And then they have slowly, you need to understand that on a slow basis, take your time. It takes time. But let us be focused. As it said to you, be that strong fish in that small pond, rather than being one of the fish which is not identified in a large group. You become the Raja of your territory. Then you can master anyone. You don't have to just jump. That is the reason where many people have been failing across. That is the reason why many people are not able to take it forward, because they just jumped and they are just thinking that they may achieve success. Just because success will mean different to different people. It is about what you are thinking, and it is about what you are looking forward for. So coming back, 1 is the idea, 2 is the problem, 3 is you need to be passionate about, 4 is you need to identify a niche, target a particular market, identify your customers, target positioning of your market is very important. Language, which language is important? If you are selling something in Tamil Nadu, you need to be aware that this language is particular about, if you are very particular about focusing on the regions down south, people have to relate and connect to your product. If you're focusing on North India, the same thing will not be applicable. You need, the entire approach is different. Similarly, if you're focusing outside India, you need to understand that every customer is different. You cannot expect everyone to come over there. So you need to identify the niche, your exact particular segment. You need to segment and target your customers accordingly. And that is where you need to understand. And then after that, you need to find out what is the USP, why people should buy from you, what is the entire unique selling point. Today, everyone knows what kind of unique opportunities the online platforms have been providing, the startups have been providing. There are many startups which have been giving you the kind of marketing which they provide. If you go to offline stores, you'll also know that there are many brands which they have unique selling propositions according to their own business setup. If you ask particularly what do you mean by unique selling point, for us the unique selling point is we do a lot of customization for our clients. We help them customize according to their requirements and according to their needs. So understanding the customer's needs and fulfilling according to that is something which will make your customers have to relate to you. It is all emotional selling. People have to relate to you. People have to relate to your product. People buy from people. You need to create that kind of emotion attached to it. You need to create, because Satyam Theatre is an emotion. People who have gone to Satyam, they know that Satyam Theatre is not a movie. It's a movie. It's an experience. It's an emotion. It's not just a business. It's not a transaction. You cannot make anything like a transaction over there. Today, there may be more theaters which are there, but the kind of emotion and attachment you get walking into certain places is something which you can relate to, and people will very often go and buy to that. And they own it. Today, Apple is an emotion. iPhone is an emotion. People who are having iPhone will not vouch for any other thing, because there's something which they have owned it as if it is their own product. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that amazing? That what kind of products which are coming over there, they have literally, it has been invented, it has been started by someone, but some people who are using it, they carry the pride in that. That is the kind of pride you need to carry in your customers when you make this kind of things. People need to love what you're. In fact, when you go and flaunt your Benz, you take those Rolex watch, you take those Swarovski pendant, you take Nike shoes, you wear Adidas, anything, all these top brands, all more than the user, the particular person who has brought in, the user is enjoying it. And what is really the user is going to enjoy the products in the market out there is something which you need to look up. You need to be patient across, because I understand that everything is not a transaction, it is a relationship. This is the next point. You need to build relationships. It takes time. Nothing is a transaction over here. You need to be. There was a time when I started business. There was a time when entered the business. We were more reactive. We used to be there in the showrooms, the stores there, and we used to ask people, our customers, "May I help you, sir? May I help you, ma'am?" Our sales people used to ask, "May I help you? What can we do with you? Do to help you?" But now entire system has changed. It's more proactive now. It's not anymore. You can't wait for customers today. You need to reach out the customers. The entire dynamics has changed. What was 5 years ago, the entire system is completely changed now. It is not the same. So you need to adapt to the new technology. You need to adapt to relate to the new dimensions of the game is changing every time, especially after COVID. Nothing is same. It may look same on the, because India, the startups have not taken to that level when compared across to the globe. It's taking its own time. As I said, more than 95% have been failing. So the reason over here is the conventional business or the traditional business model is still being given more weightage over here, while this is very soon catching up. The artificial intelligence is catching up. The online e-commerce platforms are catching up, but only 2 to 3% have been successful. So you need to understand that entire thing is all about how you can build the relationships, because in person, when you go, the relationships tend to build faster. In online, it's purely a transaction based, isn't it? It's a purely a transaction. You go online, you buy from Amazon, or you buy from Flipkart, or you buy from Snapdeal, or you buy from Myntra. You just buy your groceries from Grofers, or you buy from Zepto. It's purely a transaction based. It's not a relationship. You need to get in touch with your customers directly. If you want to build a brand, if you want to build an organization, you need to know your top 100 clients directly in touch. Top 100 customers you should know. You should know who are your top 100 customers. You should know exactly what is going on in the market. You need to build that kind of relationship with your own customers, with your suppliers, because they are also your salespeople. Remember that. They are also your salespeople, because they will go and market for you. They will go represent you outside. They say a customer takes months to identify you, but it takes only seconds to lose one. So you need to build that relationship with the customer, because if you don't take care of a customer, someone else will take care of the customer in the market. Market is totally open now. It's nothing very in a closed. There is nothing closed over here. Everything is become an open, as I said, transaction. It's become more. You need to be more proactive right now. You need to reach the customers, whether it may be through social media platforms, whether it may be through any other mediums, but you need to make a mark. I hope you're all with me. I hope it's making sense. I hope that these points are really making you understand what kind of it is really getting you to help nearer to your goal. So you need to understand that once you develop the idea, identify the problem, identify your niche, find out the passion within you, identify the niche, and then who are your target customers? Whom are you going to focus? What is the age group? Where are your customers located? What is the positioning of your customers, which is very, very important. Next comes the financial goal. Very crucial. They always say cash is king. Working capital is very, very important. Where will you get these funds from? Never start a business or never do anything with a negative cash flow. Nothing will. The reason, one of the primary reasons why, or revelations why, all these so-called startups were not able to grow or scale up to that level, or were really reason for the failure, was one of the primary factors, very strong factors, was negative cash flow or negative low margin. We cannot operate in low margins. I know the competition is huge. I know many a times we also go through this. Our competitors, yes, identifying your competitors is very crucial. Who are your competitors? Who are your competitors? But that doesn't mean you cut down on your profit. But that doesn't, how long can you cut down on your profit? How long can you run on a negatively low margin? It's not practically impossible to run on a low margin for a longer period of time. You need to have deep pockets, but today I don't think, because overheads are high, or you need to hire best of the people, which again is costly, which again is expensive. Where do you think we can get even operate on a low margin? The primary responsibility of an entrepreneur, of a startup company, is to make profit. My teacher says the moral responsibility of any shopkeeper, any owner, business owner, any organization, any entrepreneur is to earn money. We're not doing any social service over here. We are not doing any kind of running a non-profit organization over here. All these people, if you just go and identify that there was a startup which is there, BIZ'23 is undergoing a loss. There are many other companies which are undergoing losses there, because they have found their investors, but they have not found exactly the reason, or they have not blocked the whole of that hole, which is creating the negatively low margin or negative cash flow. Is a very predominant thing into your business. You need to understand that without positive cash flow, you cannot operate, you cannot run your business for a long time. You cannot. How much ever powerful is the great is the idea. You have the people who are interested to buy that product. If you have the right target customers, but if you falter on this one aspect of managing finance, so your financial goals, you need to get right in the beginning itself. What is your working capital? How are you going to run your business? What is your kind of cash flow which is you require on a daily basis? What are the overheads which is there, recurring overheads on a monthly basis? What are the funds which are required for daily operational funds, which we call, to run the show? And even if you do not, like COVID has taught everyone, how if for not for 1 year, we know that was a testing period for everyone. That was a pass period for everyone, where we got to know that how many of them had that deep pockets, how many of them could survive, were on a survival mode or were on a non-survival mode. So you need to identify that. You need to be sure regarding that. So getting that negative cash flow margin, I'll share you one of my personal experiences. There was a time when though we had good products, good customers, we had many of the customers coming back to and saying that your products are really nice, but I think your pricing is too high. They are not meant for our products, for our market. So either the pricing which you are putting it across is also one of the crucial factors. So when we brought down the pricing till that market was over ready. And once we got the pricing right, and then still we could see that margins were cut down. And there was a time when we were operating on a negative cash flow margin, very low margin. And due to that, there were a lot of misunderstandings in the organization. There were times when I could not speak to my own father. There were times when I could not imagine standing there operating. We could not pay salaries to our people. We could not operate because of one thing which we need to understand is without proper cash flow or without managing your finance properly, you cannot get your system right. And we got into that, we understood what was required. And there was a phase where we were literally suffering from all these financial struggle was going on, apart from the day-to-day operations to run across and meeting the customers' demands. Still we were struggling because of one pillar, which is finance. So getting that finance is something which you need to get that right. So what is the next after you get that thing? The 8th point is you need to understand that you need to build a strong team. A strong team is someone where you cannot do anything alone. You may be the best salesperson. In fact, you should be the best salesperson in your organization. I truly believe that I am the best salesperson, but that's not enough. If you are the best salesperson, contrary is you may be losing out on many things. You should focus on becoming the best, but you should create parallelly many success salespeople in your organization or outside your organization. Your customers are a good salespeople. A happy customer is a good salesperson, spokesperson for you, because if a customer is happy, he will recommend another two people. Yes or no? If the customer is happy, he will recommend another two people. That's what we are looking for. So whenever we get into this mode, we were very clear from the beginning that we are here to make a customer, not a sale. Because if you make that customer will get you another customer, and it will keep on clicking. But for that to happen, you need to create a strong team who can work for you. You need to have a strong sales force within the organization. You need to have a strong team which can handle your management and admin activities. Because most of the time, in my initial years, have gone through, or if you just, the survey was conducted, most of these so-called startups in this, let us come to India, have been business operators rather than the startup owners. They were doing everything on their own. They were the ones who were handling billing section, they were handling the delivery section, they were handling the product section, they were had selection, designing, execution, everything. So you need to have a strong team behind you who can take care of the day-to-day operational and admin related activities, who can take care of the sales, who can take care of the finance, who can take care of the management, who can take care of the customers' problems, who can take care of the vendor requirements, the stock, the inventory departments. There are many things. Without a strong team who is aligned with you in your vision. Because if you have a team which is not aligned to your vision, then everything will go haywire. We had the strong sales team in our initial years. If you ask me personally, what did I learn from my family business, or what did I learn from these last 2 decades of this, is something which I would say that more than what to do, what not to do, I have learned more. I've learned more from my father's mistakes, and I'm trying to not repeat those mistakes. I've learned not to do many things rather than doing things. Because many things which we are undoing is also doing, right? Because not everything you vouch for or you can do it on your, because it's many a times we are only going and we are just solving things, we are not realizing that we have to focus on ourselves. Because what you are good at, you may be the best. You may be the best. There is only one Virat Kohli in the team, we know it. There is only one MS Dhoni, there was one MS Dhoni in the team, we all know it. There will be only one Sachin Tendulkar, there will be only one person in the entire team. But every time is that the person is enough? No, team has to come together. Teamwork is really important. And with the teamwork, you need to get the clear picture, what is their role, the clarity, understand exactly what is each one's role. You don't have to have many people working in your organization. Even if there are few handful of people working in the organization, it's okay. But you need to understand that the best thing is getting them on board, is working together as a team. Each one performing their role, each one is clear about what they are doing, each one is handling their own responsibilities, and that makes you do. There was a time when I used to open the shutter, I used to sweep the floor, I used to mop the floor, I used to attend the customers, I used to take the goods from the godown. Most of them, because we were, I'm not given that privilege to hire as many as employees as possible. Even if there was a choice given, we were restricted. So we had to do everything on our own. And when you start doing everything on your own, you tend to miss out on many things. Because how much ever you are doing on your own, and then at the end of the day, delegation is important. That's where the teamwork comes into. You do what you are good at so that you can focus on if you leave what others can do, then you can focus on what you can do. Otherwise, we are getting caught into the day-to-day operations, that day-to-day vicious cycle, that rut of going into the work and coming back in the evening, realizing that we have not ticked any of your to-do list much or goals. We are just handling things which are coming on the way. So you need to plan. You need to have a strong planning before you start any venture. That do you have a good backup team who can. A team may be anyhow. It may be in your relation. It may be your friend circle. It may be anyone who you are confident about. It may be even you, your spouse, or it may be your parents. It may be your own self starting there, and then you slowly go on to build a team, a world-class team, which can take care of your products, which can take care of your company, which can take care of your own products to the next level. So this teamwork is something which will take you, which will help you reduce your time which will help you focus on better things. And then the next comes is, after you have identified, you need to build a system, the entire process. Because without systems, again I said, we will be running here and there. A direction, activity without direction is not going to lead you anywhere. There has to be a system. There has to be a process involved. Even if you're there, you're not there, there has to be a system integration. There has to be a module. There has to be a system wherein whether you are present, you are not present, business has to run its own. How is it possible? That's where the entire concept of McDonald's, KFC, Cafe Coffee Day, all these came in. Huge success. Subway, where they have 10,000 branches plus all over the world. Starbucks, a normal coffee, the cappuccino or whatever coffees which are available there, they're all systemized. There is a system to it. There is a process to it. It doesn't need your day-to-day presence. Whether it's in the operations, whether it's in the product, everything, if you can systematize it. I know not everything can be systematized, but as much as possible in our businesses, if we can bring in enough systems, then I think a lot of things can. This is applicable even in terms when you go abroad, you can relate to what I'm trying to say. Many things are organized. We're not letting down our country over here by saying that it's not organized, but the difference between a system and non-systematic is the organized and unorganized. If we can get this entire system-oriented process right, always it will make you think. See, because today everything is available online. We need to understand that people need faster, people need better, they need faster products or services at faster service. They need at a reasonably priced or cheap. We can't call it cheaper. They are looking for cheaper options. Obviously, if you go anywhere, you look for these three options. One is the fastest, one is the cheapest, and one is the best quality in the available time. So in order to give all this, you need to have a strong team and you need to have a fantastic system back to it. If you can get this system, entire system, then I don't think anyone can stop you from. As we were coming back to, so 9 points are over right now. 10th point, moving on to the 10th point is, you need to think big. You need to think big, but you need to start small. Again, one of the primary reasons why most of the startups have failed is because they spent in their initial years not looking out for what is there in their hand. You need to think big. You need to think global, but you have to start local. You need to think big, but you can only start small because it has lower risk. Because already you're taking that risk of venturing your own business, you are finding out that passion, building that idea, and identifying the customers. Already the risk has been taken. And when that risk has been taken, if that risk is smaller, it will not affect you, it will not let you down, it will not bog you down. But if that risk sometimes is irreparable, it hits you so hard that it's impossible to recover. We have many people, many organizations, many startups, many old traditional conventional businesses which are there. We know, we are aware of. We don't want to name them, but we all know if we are not going to, if we start small, then everything may work fine. Slowly, gradually, incrementally, we can improve them by doing consistently progress. We can take that consistent progress, and then we can take the next leap. So you need to think big. You need to dream big. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has said that you need to really, dreams are not that which come into your sleep. Dreams are that does not allow you to sleep. But you need to start small. Always remember, Steve Jobs started from a garage. I don't think there can be any better example than that. Any product does not need to start from the scratch. If you can take it to the next level, nothing like that. So start from the scratch, build upon slowly, gain the trust of the people, build upon that idea, pitch your consistently, be relentless, be persistent, have patience, take your time, evaluate yourself, do some tests into the market, identify, check with your friends, check with your family, check with your relatives. Is it working? That's the best way to test your products, and then slowly from there on build. Whether it's Adyar Ananda Bhavan today started with just one branch in Adyar, and today they have crossed so many branches and worldwide, over close to more than 800 to 1,000 crores turnover. Whether it's Purvika Mobile starting with one branch, whether it's Kalyan Jewelers starting with one branch, anyone just started with. We also started with a humble background of 200 square feet. And today we are touched with more than 10,000 square feet. I just said to you that all parameters may work, may not work. But one thing is, consistent progress will always lead you to handle things better. Otherwise, you may not be able to handle everything. So if you can get this right, you can understand that, yes, I think you're ready to venture into all these things. Point number, do we have time, Shagun?
Yes, sir. Like more around some 10 to 15 minutes, sir.
Yeah, do you want to take question and answers?
Yeah, sir, we have some question and answers.
Sir. Yeah. So I think these 10 points, I think we can go on, but all I can sum it up as quickly is these 10 points. If you have a strong idea, build upon that strong idea. 2, identify exactly, find out your customer's burning problem, what they are going through, what they are suffering from, which they cannot solve. Borrow the ideas, or see the ideas. The best, there will be few things which you can look around. Obviously, YouTube, or you can see lots of videos are there. I would recommend you can watch Shark Tank, all seasons, previous ones, right now. It's available in different languages. Even watch international show Shark Tank. You will know the entire scenario of what is a startup, how does it work consistently. If you can watch that, will be helpful. Find your passion, exactly what you want to do, what is your purpose. Identifying that, build, narrow, make it a very very small niche. What do you want to start? Focus on one thing which you want to solve initially, and which you are really passionate about. Find out that one thing which can be the best. Identify who are your customers, target customers, position them, where are they located, what is their demography, where are they located, what is the age group you're focusing upon, whether it's gender biased, whether it's related to uh, any particular age category, age group, area group, anywhere. Identify who are your potential customers, which area, target them, position them exactly. Build your team, build your network. You need to have a strong team who can work for you. Build onto your systems, identifying the right systems. Get your financial goal right. If you can get the financial goal right, then most of your things are being going to be solid, because at the end of the day, even if you go to pitch into investors, first thing from a startup will they look up to is what is your how strong is your financial capability or capacity. And then after that, building the processes, you can find out what kind of building the relationships, the understanding the customers, and then obviously taking the risks. Think big, dream big, but start small. This is, I think, few of the points which I. There are many other things, but these are the points. If you can catch it, I hope this will be useful for you. Yes, can we take some questions, Shagun?
So, so they've asked how to engage customers.
How to engage customers? Okay. Um, I think it's a very broad question. How to engage customers? Uh, Engaging customers, whether it's online or offline, that is more important. If you're going to, because today we are all in the online digital world, you need to adapt yourself. You need to understand what works for Instagram will not work for Facebook, and what works for these both will not work for LinkedIn, and what works for these three will not work for YouTube. So the activities which you want to engage is, be very strong in social media. Your presence will matter, how best you can do. Not necessarily you spend on several lakhs and burn your fingers. No, there are many, many activities through which you can engage your customers. And social media platform is the best. Today, all these available platforms, if you can consistently focus upon them, get your customers. In fact, if you can engage you need to, just now I told you, you need to understand exactly who your customers are. For example, your customers are on higher level. Track those customers. Where do they go often? Do they go to some clubs? Do they go to some seminars? Do they go to a certain section of people? Do they attend these kind of events? You need to track those customers and understand exactly and engage them according to their the tracking of those customers. So you need to be very strong, your presence. You need to continuously engage with your customers on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the best tool available today. If your business is predominantly going across, even if it's offline, today I think people are using 99% on WhatsApp, and they take the word of mouth and the references, and then they come across. So use your on WhatsApp maximum to possible. Please call the customers directly, understand where they are, what is their requirement, their need, and I think these are the few ways where you can engage the customers. I hope this has answered your question.
Sir, Mr. Manav has asked how to compete with competitors and customers.
Uh, that's a very good question. Um, competition is something which you need to take it in a positive manner, because with the growing competition, if you want to have a competitive edge over others, then you need to come out with some product which is completely monopoly. You need to create identify a product which is in monopoly, and then you can bring that competitive edge. Or you need to bring some price factors which are completely, totally different compared to your competition. You need to be aware of what your customers or what your competitors are selling. Find out their market, who are their customers, whether your customers and their customers are clashing. If you can get that and competition analysis, you comparative, we're not asking here to do any comparison over here, but if you need to take that competitive edge, then you need to be present everywhere, whether it's social media, all the platforms, whether it's the offline, then you need to create the kind of customer service, give some customer service which your competition cannot provide. If you want to get, for example, there is if you take any of you take even Amazon as an example, there are hundreds and thousands of products you order online. Not that you can order those offline, but why are you ordering online? Because it gives you a convenience of even replacing that if there are any chances of any problem in the product. So you need to identify either in the price terminology or in the range terminology. You need to come out with a range which is the best in that segment. You need to, or you need to come out with a product which is completely only you have. You are the monopoly in the market. Probably you are the only dealer who is dealing with that kind of laptops. Probably you are the only dealer who deals with this kind of clothes. There is no one to match your kind of tailoring services which you're doing. There is no one who can make a cake like you. Probably there is no one who can create, probably you have a chartered accountant institute where you do provide these different kind of services for your clients, which no chartered accountant services can provide. You have a retail store and you give up with some exclusive discount offers, or you give them installation services, or you give some value, or you need to add some value to your customers, get some value, add some value to your customers, which your competition cannot offer. If you can identify those value added services, we call VAS, value added services to your own products, which your competition cannot, you be ahead of the competition always. There are hundreds of phones in the market available, but there is no comparison for iPhone. You may like it, you may not like it, but there is no comparison in terms of the product positioning they have. There is no competition in that segment. So either you need to segment yourself. What is your segment? Are you in the Maruti segment? Then in Maruti segment is for low and middle, and then they are the best in that segment. If it's the higher, then it's a choice between BMW, Benz, Audi, all these people. Then it's more higher rich. So you need to identify what is your market. In that market, if you want to create a monopoly, you need to identify. You need to get to the best. You need to be the best in your market. So, and add as much as value to your customers, which makes them come back. I hope this has answered your question, Mr. Nagaraj, right?
So there's a final question. Each customer taste and preference and attitude changes every time. How to sustain with the competitors and be the best in the market?
I'm sorry, you have to come again. Sorry.
So customer taste and preference and attitude changes every time. How to sustain with the competitors and be the best in the market?
Exactly. Customers, we used to go to watch movies in theaters, very old, before even the multiplex came. There were single owners, single theaters there, and then the concept of multiplex came. Now the entire transition is happening from theaters. You go only for movies which are larger than life, or which are really worth to watch in theater, like RRR or Bahubali, or example, I'm just naming these two theater, or recently released Vijay's movie Varis, or anything. Rest of the movies you're saying, I don't want to watch, I want to watch on OTT. So the entire dynamics is changed. The customer relationship is changed. They're looking for something new now. They're adapting to, you need to adapt to the newer technologies. You need to reach out to them. Previously, they used to come to the theaters. Right now, movies are coming to homes. So it's a change which Netflix has brought in, which all the OTT platforms have brought in. There was a time when all the people used to struggle, these very actors used to struggle to find a role in the movie. Today, there is enough opportunities for many actors to perform in various regions. It's flooded right now with opportunities and with offers. North is going south, south is going north, east is going west, west is going. Anyone, you can go anywhere and anyone can watch the movie from anywhere. So you need to stay in the competition, means you need to upgrade yourself, you need to update yourself, you need to find out exactly what your competitors are doing, and you need to go above them. Then only you can catch them, catch the customers. Otherwise, customers will miss out. Probably you have a team or you have a customers who you have not touched up upon for a longer time. You need to get in touch with them. Because customers today are looking for services whom someone is consistently, you need to be consistently focusing on or consistently pitching on your products to your customers. So you need to understand that the customer, the entire dynamics is changing right now. How can you be in the competition is you need to find out newer ways how you can expand your market. And one of the best is to find out the new ways is break the traditional pattern and take that risk to come out of your comfort zone. Don't get caught into that same routine, daily mundane routine of going to the or pitching the customers in the same regular, yes sir, I'm doing this. Like we used to get this banking calls, insurance calls, and we are doing this phone cut, this we are doing. And then you start, you understand that the entire dynamics has changed. Paytm has changed the way people pay. How did that come all of a sudden? No, Google Pay has changed for the people. Even Phone Pay, Google Pay have made things easier for tea shops. Normal tea shops on the road, they have made things easy. The grocer who are standing on the road, the cart people who are selling on the carts, they have made things easy for them. What kind of a revolution has people have brought in? The Paytm and GPay, and we are living in that kind of age. And the things are only going to move more far, because what happened last 5 years is not the same. As I told you earlier, people are we have to be more proactive, not reactive. No more you have to wait for your customers to come in. There was a time when customers used to buy only from here, this shop. There was a shop where you used to buy things. There was a shop where you used to go to the hotel. Now everything is Zomato, Swiggy. You're ordering food from where? You're sitting inside a theater, you can order food from Swiggy if you don't like theater food. How did they find the market? You need to understand the entire system, how it is working, because customer attention span is narrowing. But you need to expand your mind and belief system that I can reach out to more and more people only if I come out of my comfort zone and give something there are only two things. Either you do something which has never been done before, or you need to do something which only you can do. It's simple. Only you can do it better. When I say there are people, others means either you do it very strongly, which no one else can do better than you. It may be the same thing which others are also doing, or you need to do something differently which no one has done before. Then I think the customer is always yours. They will come. You need to keep upgrading yourself, updating yourself. The entire market is changing at a rapid speed. We do not know what is in control, what is in our hand right now. The entire dynamics is changing. The buying system is changing. What buyers were there 10 years ago, 5 years ago, the entire system was different of buying. And right now, the entire system is different. from watching movies to eating food, eating in restaurants, going to hotels, staying in hotels, staying in apartments, everything. There is, tell me any one thing which is the same. Customer needs, demands keep changing, and you need to catch up with them to identify. You need to think whether your business can meet those lines. You need to understand your customers rapidly, and that will make the things to change. I hope this makes sense and answered your question.
Thank you so much, sir. There are no more questions.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, anything else to add? Do we have time or anything else? Anyone wants to ask more questions? Any further questions?
Ma'am?
Just one moment. We are waiting for SL ma'am to join this.
Yeah, sure. It was very informative, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Still the
Sir, we've been receiving very positive comments on the YouTube live. Thank you so much for the informative session, sir.
thank you. So do we stay? Hello?
Yeah, sir. Just a moment. Our head in charge will talk with you, sir.
No, no problem. No problem. Meanwhile, any questions, I am free to answer.
Very informative session, sir. Now, is it one of them had posted that would we be able to join you on LinkedIn?
Sorry, come again?
Would we be able to join you on LinkedIn?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, one of them.
Now, you want me to join in LinkedIn, huh?
Not now, sir.
Sorry?
So they want to know your LinkedIn handle and if they'll be able to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely. I'll share you the link. Can I share it to you, Shagun, and then you can...
Yeah, sure, sir. You can share with me. I'll just share with the other students, sir.
Yeah. Why not? I hope it was useful and informative for you all, for everyone.
Sorry for the delay, sir. I think there's some connectivity issues. Just one moment.
Yeah. Hope we have closed on time.
Yes, sir. We started and ended also on time.
Okay.
Sir, good evening. Thank you so much. So one important thing, of course, there were so many things which I picked from you. The one important thing is like, most of our students are family business, and you told them very clearly what they have to pick up from their family business. Nice having you for the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Do I stay back or leave?
Thank you, sir. We would just end the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Can exit?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.